Yahushai, Bashem Rahakwadash. We say Barakati Hawa, Barakati Yahushai. Barakati Hawa, Barakati Yahushai. Barakati Hawa, Barakati Yahushai, Bashem Rahakwadash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Jump into this. This is a quick World War III update in traffic. You've seen that Trump, Lord will now try to post a video concerning that specific thing. We just had the UN assembly, and Trump said that NATO should be allowed to shoot down Russian fighter jets that cross into their territories. Okay, so, and he said that Ukraine can take back its original territories. And what's the original territories? That's going into Crimea, that's going into the Donbass regions, that's going into the old blacks, if I'm pronouncing that right. But all that right there is showing you that it's full speed ahead, okay? Because even Biden, he wasn't talking like that, okay? He wasn't talking like that because this is all ordo ab chaos, because they know that this coming third woe is inevitable. It's happening. We've been in it for a couple years. We've been in the third woe. It just hasn't become a kinetic war. It's been a kinetic war between proxies, right? Iran is a proxy of Russia, okay? Venezuela is a proxy of Russia, China sending war provisions over to Venezuela, all right? So all this thing is a proxy war. That's how, if you read on the internet, it says that's how the Third World War would be fought, through proxies. Then when it turns to proxies, it's going to turn into a hot war. It's going to turn into a kinetic war between NATO, Russia, and their allies. And they already know they're at war, man. All right. So these are the birth pains that the Lord said. It says wars and rumors of wars. So what is going on now is rumors of wars. Okay, you got the Taiwan situation. Okay, you got all these different theaters of war that are leading to what? The main one. That's why the Lord said when he come, it says if it be already kindled. So there's going to be a hot situation on the planet Earth when Yahushua returns. Okay, and then they just had the situation with the Atlas 31, where they said that Atlas 31 was moving backwards. So that ain't it ain't looking like a comet. It ain't looking like a comet. They say is moving backwards. That's not comets don't do that, man. Okay, I'm gonna have to post the more information about it. But the main thing is that you see all these taking place. Escape plan. World War III is our escape plan, because if the Lord not happen, the prophecies cannot be fulfilled. And then you got these Christians about the rapture. Hey, we all still here. All right, we all still here. Some can pretend and disappear and say they were raptured, but the Lord said no man knoweth the day nor the hour. And we're waiting on the prophecies. We know what we're looking for. Just like weather has a what's it called? Weather goes by a certain amount, certain things must happen. Moisture must come together. You must have the trade winds and all these things, meteorology, if I'm not mistaken. That's what you see for a weather storm. That, so hey, shalom, brother. So the main point is that rain doesn't happen by itself. It takes a coming together of certain things, elements that make it rain. So the same thing the Lord said, it says, you fools, you can discern the coming of weather, you can't discern the coming of the Son of Man. And that's what we're seeing. It takes these things to come together for the end to come. We need that third war. We need, now the world is looking at Amalek, these small hats, and they're looking at them committing this genocide, because that's what it is. That's what it is. But where's vocab at talking about, if you got the world that these people they don't push, and a lot of these people saying that they're not religious people, they're not Bible following people, but they know wrong from right. How are they calling this out? But then vocab and these other Christians, they talking about us like we're the worst thing ever. And we're not launching no rockets on no civilians. We're not bombing nobody's house. We're not even toting weapons. We out there with the scripts, the holy scripts, and the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, man. All right, the Spirit holy. So what that's showing you that they're set up. They're not worrying about people for real, and they're not worrying about us. Because we know people in the church don't give a fuck about each other, man. We were there. Guess what? The pastor be popping your wife. They'll tell us to go back to church and Christianity while the pastor is committing adultery with your woman and smiling and shaking your hand and oh yeah, I'm just going to do a Bible study, all that bullshit. I came from the church. I know. Ain't nothing but adultery in there, man. There was nothing but pure adultery and a fashion competition, man. It was nothing about people just wearing who can wear the nicest clothes, they be talking about you behind your back. If they looking around, they ain't even worrying about the sermon. They can't even tell you what the sermon was about. They're worrying about who's wearing this, who's doing this, who's driving this. So it's nothing but a damn fucked up high school, man. So we ain't going back to that. We're not going back to that. We know what we have taste buds. That's why we have a taste bud. What is a taste bud? A taste bud is something for you to recognize if it's sweet or if it's bitter. The Lord gave us those what does it say? Those senses. So we have a sense to tell you that we know that the church and Christianity, modern day Christianity, is not a sweet thing. It doesn't have answers. But now you got these guys that are talking about us like we're so bad, but then turn around and look at what these supposed small hats are doing. But they'll give them a pass though. They'll give them a whole pass. They rule the world. They own all these different weapons. They own Lockheed Martin, all these things that are pushing death throughout the planet Earth. But when we tell people that, hey, we're the biblical Israelites, we're the worst thing moving. But we're not worried about that. Jacob's trouble and World War III is going to separate the oil from the water. It's going to separate the lambs from the goats, man. It's going to separate who is the Lord's anointed and who is not, man. So we welcome these times. We welcome the lights going off because we've stored up our treasures in heaven. We haven't just looked around and played games and said, okay, well, we pretending. No, that's how the trial of our faith. That's why it says in Habakkuk, it says the just shall live by faith. So we're going to live by faith. And that's the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not faith in any kind of other supposed religions or anything like that. So World War III to you Akim out there and few sisters, that's your escape plan. Welcome it. Don't be afraid of it. Welcome it. Because if your faith is on point, you're going to want that. You're going to need that. Because that's going to what? That's going to solidify who you are in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And we want to be good. At the end of the day, man, may the Lord be glorified and the elect be saved, man. We come into some dire times right now, man. That's why they got all this ICE movement on the street, because that's going to quell the uprising that's getting ready to happen, man. They paying them $50,000 sign-on bonuses to become a supposed ICE agent, man. Because they need different lines of activity or actions, because it's going to be chaos on a large scale, man. And they're talking about draft. They said the draft is coming back, because once that article with NATO is triggered, they're going to start drafting, man. Okay, they're going to start. They're doing it now with the Kirk thing. The situation with Kirk. They said they're going to be using that to draft people. Okay, everything auto ab chaos, man. This is auto ab chaos, and then they're gonna, what does it say? They're gonna take down a lot of this videos, out of our videos, because they're gonna put us under that Jimmy Kimmel vibration, that we're dissidents and we're causing uproars and we're not pushing the status quo. But the status quo is the Bible, man. We pull out in the scriptures. That's why they had to put kid gloves, because they sent out these agents to try to go against this word on a carnal level. But they're gonna have to get real carnal. They're gonna have to get kinetic with this truth, man. All right, that means they're gonna have to go heads up. But that's the Lord forcing them. Same way the Lord forced Pharaoh. When the Lord forced Pharaoh to chase us in the wilderness, That's what he's going to do to the modern day Pharaoh. And guess what? He's hardening Pharaoh's heart. The Lord is hardening Pharaoh's heart. He's pushing the narrative to these elites that, hey, y'all got it. Go get these Israelites. Do what you want to them. But once that happens, that's going to trigger a spiritual trap, man. The Lord has set forth pocket nukes, man. The elect are good. Spiritual power is inevitable, man. Okay, because the world is going to see that the Most High is real. Because what comes with the scriptures? What comes with the Holy Bible? Spiritual power. Elijah had spiritual power. Elisha had spiritual power. Moses had spiritual power. Okay? The Messiah had spiritual power. David and his men had a form of spiritual power on a warrior level, man. So these things are hand in hand with the scriptures. So once the Lord has tightened us up on the spiritual, then the man that is spiritual can what? Judge things. And if you can judge a matter spiritually, then you're going to be able to judge it carnally, man. All right? Spiritual mind is going to be able to go over a carnal mind. And you're going to be able to discern how to use that power in a righteous way. All right? And the Lord is going to get us. We're going to be, just like now, we're spiritually possessed with this thing. All right? On the right-hand side. That's why it says, I will pour out my spirit. And you're seeing a lot of people having dreams, a lot of prophetic dreams are taking place right now. All these things to get you ready, Jake. They're to get you ready. And you got to believe the Lord is going to come through for his people. The Lord has honored Yahushua's sacrifice. So why would the Lord put his son through all of this and then renege to put us in hell? No, he wants to get us out because he's the one that put the spirit on his son to come down here and do what he did, man. Men's goings of the Lord. So when Yahushua did that, guess what? Now the Heavenly Father can do something else. That's renew the elect, set up the kingdom of heaven, and establish the judgment and the fear of his name on the planet Earth, man. That's why in 2nd Ezra, he says, what? Those that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahbashim Yahushua, man. You know, so stand on your 10 toes. Don't worry about the world. World War III is our escape plan. Don't worry about, hey, what you gonna do with the lights go off. That's for those that have not gathered faith, that have eaten of this world. They join hand in hand. Now punishment is coming, man. All right. The mindset you have now is trust Yahbashim Yahushua with everything and leave it up to him, man. You know, hey, we wore the fuck out. I'm ready for the lights to go off, man. You know, Jake eats some bread, but the Lord gonna take care of us. We're not gonna be hurting. We're not gonna be in a hole shivering somewhere. Elijah wasn't. Elijah had water to the very day that he needed it. And then he had a woman provide food for him until the time appointed. So the Lord has provisions laid up for the elect. Okay, so trust in that. It says, lean not upon your own understanding, man. Men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Father, man. So that's what your mindset is. Live by the Rakah, live by the Spirit, man. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out real quick. I'm almost to my destination, and I give a little, motivation to say World War III is our escape plan. Don't worry about it. You want World War III. You don't want to be scared. Nah, we want the missiles. We want this place got to get fucked up. Okay, it raped, robbed, and murdered us, and took our children into slavery, raped our men, raped our women. What? You want justice, don't you? No justice, no peace. We're about to receive justice, and the Lord's about to receive a glorious name on the planet Earth. So with that, I say, call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak Kodash. Until the next time, I say Shalom, and more not, and never keep faith. Shalom.